Today I fucked up by ending up on a 400k views video in a foreign country. These events unfolded sometime in March. To set the scene, I'm a foreign student, in a Southeast Asian country. Here for 3 years at that point, so pretty comfortable taking care of myself. In February I had to move from the capital to a small town for an internship. It's pretty normal for people, particularly students, to move into shared apartments. Also note that apartments often have an extra grill door with a padlock that stay locked, and I've gotten accustomed to it. Oh, and I lived on the 15th floor. Now on with the story. As quarantine rolled over, housemates left or returned home, so I ended up living alone during that time. The morning of the events unfolding, the landlord come over to pick up a pair of keys left behind for the better part of 3 weeks. Thinking back, time really likes fucking with people. As with the year-round tropical climate, that week provided a relief from the humidity. I was very much enjoying the boat. Today I fucked up a breeze. I have large windows in my room, so I kept them open. Now I'm in a good mood, bouncing around the kitchen, cooking myself an amazing pasta for dinner, when all of a sudden I hear a loud bang. I figured my room's door closed because of the wind. Halfway through cooking, I wanted to get my phone, and lo and behold, the door is locked. The huge force must have pushed the lock from the inside, being the doorknob types. Now, this isn't my first rodeo with locked doors. I usually have a locksmith's number that come in handy. And it dawned on me, I have nothing with me. No phone, no keys, nada. Zilch. I tried using force to open the door and tried the card thing, but the door is designed with an overlap that won't let you reach the latch. To put it bluntly, I was a prisoner in my own home. I started panicking and I decided to call for help from the kitchen balcony. Now, a foreign girl living alone with no one to contact at 8 PM doesn't sound like a good situation. But hey, at least I'm locked inside. A neighbor comes by and helps me call the guards. More men come by, try to get through the padlock first. About 2 hours later, they decide to call the fire department. Before I know it, I'm opening my door to 6 emergency responders for a locked door. They chainsaw the padlock and break open my room. All is well. They leave and the building personnel are sitting at my dining table to fill the form. This is when I find out the fire department are famous. I was told that purpose of the GoPro on their helmets, which I passed off as some quality control thing. They leave and I check out their channel with nearly 500,000 subscribers. A few days later, there it is, my embarrassment laid on a YouTube video currently sitting at 400k views without a single English comment. At least they blurred my face. Too long didn't read, I got myself locked in my home that sent 6 emergency responders to my door, placing my stupidity and I on their YouTube channel in a foreign country. How can you tell a story about you being in a YouTube video and then not post a link to said YouTube video? You monster. Can we see the video? I would love to see the video, lol. Just to see how silly this was. Excuse me while I go look for the video. More details needed. Can't find the Captain, we need you. Today I fucked up by having a baked goods exchange with my neighbor. So I'll start by saying I'm civil with my neighbors but have been trying to improve the relationship with one of them, usually by chatting / offering help when I can. Due to COVID I'm not working and neither are they. There is mum, dad and 3 kids. The father has been working on his ute for the past couple of days and I've been getting to know him more by talking about hobbies, and I let it slip that I'm trying baking for the first time in my life. Well, turns out his wife used to work for a cake decorating mob, and if I wanted some tips I should talk to her. I went inside and started talking to the wife about baking and how I can make some decent cookies because mine were turning out dry and miserable. She told me a few trade secrets and said I'll never make top-notch cookies by using store-bought packets to make them, and that I should start from scratch. The next day I went shopping for ingredients and the husband happened to see me coming home with Woolies bags, said his wife has been baking all morning and that she wanted to talk with me about trading cookies. I spoke with her about an exchange later that week, when I thought I had something presentable, and she was delighted, so I went home and started on my descent into flour-coated hell. After 3 days I had something that could be called a cookie. Went back to the wife and told her I finally figured out how to bake the damn things and that I would be willing to trade the next batch. She was excited and said I would be in for a treat when I got hers, so I told her not to be too disappointed in my attempt. Spent all morning prepping and mixing, filled up a tray with cookies then into the oven. Well, I still had some dough left, so I decided now is the perfect time to try making some pot cookies. A quick Google search and I have a passable recipe for the Jamaican lettuce. At this point I'm giddy with anticipation, and then the timer goes off for the first batch, so I yank them out and decorate with fruit. Then the pot cookies hit the oven and the smell is powerful. Ding, my weed cookies are ready. I set them aside to cool slightly, but we all know the best cookies are warm cookies, so I grabbed one and proceed to veg out watching shitty TV. An hour or so later, doorbell rings. It's one of the neighbor's kids with a small bag of cookies and a smile. I welcome them in and went to the kitchen to grab them some of my cookies. We exchange and I say bye, and the kid runs off home with a cookie in their mouth. Couple hours later I go to the kitchen for another cookie and start freaking out because I gave the neighbors the wrong batch, and immediately run to their house to explain my fuck up as I see what is definitely a stoned 16-year-old kid in the front yard trying desperately to have a conversation with the father. Got down on my hands and knees apologizing to him about the fuck up, and he let me make a fool of myself for about 20 minutes when he started laughing, then told me when the kid got home he could smell the weed coming from them and took it from the kid. I begged him not to call the cops. He said he wasn't an asshole, but he was keeping the cookies as punishment and that I needed to follow through with the exchange because his wife was waiting for them. Ran home, grabbed all the cookies and gave them to the wife. She said they were pretty good and next time don't give her kids the cookies meant for the husband. This fella covered my ass. Guess who's getting another batch? As for the kid, he fell asleep with a potato in his mouth, and the father took a photo and said it was the longest he'd ever slept, but woke up in the morning and went searching for the cookies only to find strawberry and choc chip. Edit, because wall of text. TL, doctor started baking because of COVID and wanting to befriend my neighbors but accidentally gave their kid a pot cookie. Then the father covers for me with the wife. Now I have a smoking buddy. Wholesome ending and very enjoyable read, lol. Good luck on your baking, smile. With the wall of text going and the drugs, this story reads like a Hunter S. Thompson story. Nice work, I'd read it again. Thanks, but I think that liking me to Hunter S. Thompson might be an insult to a great author. Okay, but right? Question mark. Ha 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 ha. Jesus, wall of text, Christ. How is anyone expected to read that? Today I fucked up by sucking dick for the first time and having cum leak out of my nose. This actually happened today. Obligatory throwaway resubmission because I didn't read the rules. I have never given head but have always wanted to try. It was really awkward at first for me. I don't watch porn, never had sex, and had a terrible middle school sex education. The guy I'm seeing was super patient with me, which I found really sweet, and he teaches me where to grip and place my mouth. Eventually I'm working into a good rhythm between sucking and also using my hand. It's a little painful because he's really well endowed, and my jaw aches after a bit, but I'm determined to soldier through it to the finish line. Here's where the fuck up begins. The guy I'm sucking off hasn't fapped in over a week or longer. As I work up the pace, I feel him shiver and spasm beneath me, and I know what's about to come next, pun intended. I'm determined not to be a pussy, so I decide to just swallow it and see how it goes. I'm not sure about you, but swallowing with an open mouth is not very intuitive, especially if a girthy, slick, alien meat rod is being drilled into your esophagus. I feel the warm, salty liquid build in my throat and I'm able to swallow the first bit, but after that, it's about effective as popping your mouth over a Coke bottle with Mentos in it. I lock my lips around the shaft, determined to catch it, but to no avail. My mouth is overstuffed between the vast volume of cum, dick, and my own saliva from keeping my mouth open for too long. All of a sudden my nose is burning and runny, and then I feel semen drip out of my nose and run down my chin. It was honestly a good laugh, and we had a good rest of the day together. I hope Reddit enjoys this story more than I do because my nose still feels pretty fucked up. Also had a hard time chewing dinner. Any advice would be greatly appreciated. Too long, didn't read. Tried to give head for the first time and swallow. The nut was too big and came out my nose. Yeah, that happens sometimes when the cock is too far toward the back of your throat. To avoid this, have his tip no further back than the middle of your tongue, while keeping your hand around his shaft. and the circle of your pointer finger and thumb pressed against your lips. The sore jaw is just lack of conditioning. Your jaw muscles need strengthening. Believe it or not, cocksucking is not a natural movement for our mouths. Smiley face. Best way I have figured out is to buy a bag of Twizzlers, open the bag for 2 days and let them harden up a little, then eat them. Works the same muscles. To strengthen your tongue, push your tongue against the back of your bottom teeth as hard as you can and keep pushing like that for as long as you can. So, push the tip of your tongue up to the roof of your mouth as hard as you can and hold it there till it gets tired. Do a couple repetitions of that a couple times a day. Plus practice will strengthen those muscles too. Just remember, you can take a break during to reset your jaw. If you need a break, have him stroke himself while you lick/suck his balls. Or, if you have enough coordination, you and stroke and lick. That takes practice too, like rubbing your belly and patting your head at the same time. When you're ready, you can get back to it if you want. But, if your mouth gets too sore, you can always stop. No need to make it difficult to eat the next day. I've run across a couple of pocket monsters that could make me tap out. I'm damn good but I'm no hero. Edit, to add, breathe out of your nose on the downstroke and in through your nose on the upstroke so you don't lose your breath as easy. But, if you do lose your breath, either slow down or take a break. Don't be a hero. r/angry dragon. Has anyone who makes up the "today I fucked up" erotica from a female perspective ever not included that their boyfriend or whoever has a huge penis? No women with small-dicked boyfriends ever make mistakes it seems. Nobody gave you any advice yet, huh? All I can say is, it's a good story, you have talent and should probably be writing more of them. Since I don't have experience writing porn stories, I don't have any useful advice to give.